Ah. Everybody, I'm so sorry, but it died. It just died in midstream while I was talking. I get so many hits on the phone and calls. It interrupted with the song. Good morning, everybody. Señor, yo soy Pa Rati Ismael Rivera. Good morning, everybody. My new drug, cornbread and coffee. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yo no soy para ti. Yo no soy para ti. I love it. Then go to the gym. Part two froze. Right before I got to tell you part three of the mystery behind homosexuality. Just when I was about to tell you part three, I told you about the animal and the separation of the sexes. Number one. Number two, the past life incarnations and identifying with one sex can make you come back to have feelings and desires of the same sex, especially if loved ones from the past life come into the current life in spirit, still following you. Yo soy para ti. Yo soy para ti. Well, we're gonna start. Here you come. Just soy para ti. Give me a minute. They come early and hard, and I gotta eat since I can't drink alcohol. Good morning, Ismael Rivera. Yo no soy para ti. ¿Vale? Que yo soy para ti. You know that one? You dance like this. No. A good beat to start today. All right. Mm-hmm. I gotta eat like 24 hours to prepare for the surgery. Good morning. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, I will be fine. Thank God. Thank you guys. Yes, I will. But I gotta eat. I'm not really the eating type. I'm not someone that eats a lot. So changing my lifestyle like this It's a radical change. I know I left my spliff somewhere. Uh-huh. I'm gonna take one more bite, then I'm gonna jump right in. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-mm. Pick up the dirt so the rodents don't become. No. Mm-hmm. Damn commercials. Okay. I gotta get my hair braided because it's growing. The other hair is growing. I gotta get that set. Uh-huh. It's like I'm looking in the mirror. Let the antennas, do their thing. Okay. Here's the other part of the homosexuality. But it's not really homosexuality. Because the human being can accumulate desires or he can experience desires that are familiar to him. Or she may have lesbian fantasies, but the actual fantasies of having sex with another woman could come. Now I'm going to number two before I go to number 34 minutes, which is the past life and identifying with one sex and then coming back new and fresh at the other sex. There's going to be depositories of the last multiple successions of lifetime in which you were the same sex. Oh, I had to do that. So when you bring that anthology of emotional experiences of one sex, you're going to repeat those desires somewhat in the next life. They're going to spill over because that's all the soul knows. So the new sex will take a minute before it homogenizes. But that minute could be many, many lifetimes to come because time is relative. Oh, yeah. Up, up, up. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da. You do the exercises and I do the shoulders, shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder. No, back, back. Yeah, I'm going to have to decline. So understand that that's how you can identify and have feelings for the other partner, for the same sex, because there's been a familiarity with it. So now looking at it from a two-dimensional perspective as a female, you know, you reconnect with those desires. That's another way that we can have homosexual tendencies and desires. They're being brought back. But in order for that to occur, though, in order for that to be re-stimulated in the new life, there has to be a connection with the ego. The ego will have a similar experience, all egos. The ego will have a similar experience, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And there'll be triggering factors that will trigger the ego to familiarize itself with a tendency, a behavior, or a desire that it doesn't know it had because it's on the soul level, but it senses because it still vibrates in the whole totality of the human being. The soul is not separate from the ego. They're all together, just that they are in different states of awakened consciousness. Now, when we incarnate, the soul goes to sleep and the ego awakens. But as we get older, it is the job of the ego to align with the soul. The soul is the most inactive part of the human being, while the ego is the most active part of the human being, and it is the record keeper, but it's also the gatekeeper of all experiences per lifetime. It is the soul's job to record each lifetime of the ego, and it incorporates it in its Akashic records. So now the soul has like a microchip or a computer chip. It's like a chip where you store memory. If you buy the $5, $10 ones, you got a lot of memory. If you buy the $20 ones, you get more, and then you have the big one. That's like $300-$400. So that's more memory. So think of the soul being the microchip, and the computer, when you put it in, is the ego. So now the ego gets to see what's in that microchip and gets to re-experience it, although by memory and sensation and feeling. But that's all it can do. If the ego is sufficiently prepared spiritually, it can meditate and connect with those past lives and those memories and those desires. So I understand that the computer is the ego and the memory chip is the soul. And unless the computer accepts the program of the chip and reads it, provided that it has the right cookies, then it will be able to access those memories. And that's another way that you could have what's called an episodic experience. There are people that have homosexual experiences once, and that's enough for them. They decide whether they like it or they don't. Or it might have been lousy when they were young and experienced, and they might enjoy it later in life when they have sufficient confidence in who they are. Usually these are more advanced ego states, which see sex, like everything else, as relative. Okay? Yes, I sleep with my jewelry. Yes, I do. Because my jewelry is amulets. They're protective amulets. So they protect me when I sleep from the astral forces. Remember, I'm a shaman, so I get attacks all the time. So, oh wow, that was good. Let me get one more bite. I got to shave and, down myself up, right? Declining. Hmm. These are my Houston folks calling me. Probably not realizing that I'm in New York. Crown, I am Anubis. These are barriers. These stones, they are barriers. The pentacle, these are barriers. These are natural spiritual barriers. Oh yes, the new apartment needs color. I'm not staying with these colors. I'm not staying with these colors. Starting next week, I'm gonna start painting. Mm-hmm. Ismael Rivera is a member of the club. They're talking about Shango and Imaya right on time with what I gotta talk to you about concerning homosexuality, the third aspect of it. And this one is the doozy. And of course, I will be having the gay love signs part 4, all the way into part 20 on Patreon. and all the other series. Now, understand. Yep, declining. What can I? Oh, that one. No, let me leave it out. No. Okay. When I mention the Orishas, Yemaya, Shango, I mentioned the Orishas, right? They are archons. So if you didn't know, because I think I had talked about it in another video. So they're archons. They're all human beings are influenced by archons. Every single human being. However, there are some human beings that the archons choose. These gods have a motivation for being with humans. They see something in certain humans that attracts them. It could be a familiarity from past incarnations, or it can be that the bloodline of the person is very, I'm not going to say pure, but there's something in the blood of the individual that these archons say, that's the one we're going to possess, or that's the one we're going to possess. And these archons, who are called the Yoruba, and they are Elohim. Don't get it twisted. They are Elohim, gods. Okay? They are archons. And they are the same archons of the Jews, of the Arabs, of the Christians, of the Indians. They're all the same Elohim, just being expressed in different races and cultures. They're the same beings. The Anunnaki. The Anunnaki is another group of archons. And it is still not quite clear if they were good or bad. To me, they were both. Because, like I said, and like I mentioned in my other videos, we live in a world of polarity and duality. So, if the Anunnaki did come here in Sumer, and jump-started civilization for us, then you best believe that they also had a flip side to them, because they created other subspecies hybrids, and they brought their own slave race hybrids with them. And when they left some of them behind. Right? So you have a lot of mysteries here in our planet, unforeseen things, strange tales, strange creatures, like in Louisiana, right? The Woogaloo, you know, these are all remnants of these beings that are still with us, both visible and invisible, who have made their earth their habitat right along with humans. Well, like it says in the Bible, and the sons of God, pay attention to the words, not the sons of man, but the sons of God fell in love with the daughters of man. The Bible uses the word the sons of God a lot. When that's being used, that's another codified occult mystery that's concealed from the public, you. But me, people like us, we know what they're talking about. When they're talking about the sons of God, it's talking about the sons of these extraterrestrial beings that took part in making us. So these sons of God are our space brothers, or the watchers, who were sent down here. And when I say down here, I'm talking our solar system. And they reside in all of the planets, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn. They all live and reside there. Yes, yes, I know it sounds outrageous. I know. Yes, the rover just came back from Mars, sending images of Mars. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are life beings on Mars, but they don't look like you or like me, and they don't have coats of skin of carbon matter. So they're not going to see them. Just like they exist on the moon, on the other side of the moon where they cannot go, was totally dark, doesn't even face the earth. They are there, but they're not going to let you know that you're there, that you could see them, and they're invisible. And many of them live, who are actually physical, in other parts of Mars. You're not going to see them. Well, first of all, there's no way that humans are going to reach Mars. Not in this century, not in this epoch. No. Many will die before that happens. No. So these beings are there. Why would the creator, and I'm getting about the homosexual part 3. I didn't forget. I didn't get sidetracked. But it all connects. Why would the gods create life form on one planet and a bunch of other globes around it? For what? They got to serve for something. And they do. And you got beings that are slightly advanced from us, and you got beings that are not as advanced as us. We call those stragglers. And they have fallen behind in the globe of evolution. And by the time they reach the level where we're at, we will be higher in advanced evolution than they will. It's like we all started together, but some of us fell behind and while others move forward. So by the time they get here, we will be up there. Okay? Because that's how evolution is. So the stragglers eventually will catch up. Natalie, they're not going to find organic matter there. The only organic matter they're going to find is here. So there are so many. We're not the only one. Okay. Carbon star, we're not the only one here. So understand that these beings have been in our skies, in our oceans, and in our neighboring planets. And they've been watching us, and they have been brought down and executed by the Elohim. One second. Okay. So understand that this is the situation. Now, how did human beings how did homosexuality come about? When it says in the Bible that the sons of God fell in love with the daughters of man, they the writers left out, or they corrupted the verse. And the watchers saw that the both man and woman were beautiful and comely. So if they've decided to mate with the humans, both male and female alike. That's what the original verse read. But they took it out of the Bible and they made it look like they fell in love only with women. And they didn't. They fell in love with men too. And these beings don't have a penis or a vagina. Only we have the sexes down here due to the separation. So there is no differentiation between women or men because they don't have genitals. So when they have sex with you, they're having sex with your spirit, your soul. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. They're falling in love with your essence. That's what they fall in love with. And the body translates that essence through sensuality. And that's what they got attracted to. They were attracted to the light that came out of our bodies, the beautiful shine and energy and vibration that came out of our bodies. They fell in love with it because they are not made of this carbon material. They're made of ethereal matter. So they wanted to see what it was like to have this physical matter and enjoy physical sensation. It's deep. It's deep. And this is why homosexuality exists. Why we have attraction for the same sex. Because these beings reside with us, within us. When your grandmother said, "Oh, he's got that spirit with him," she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. It is a spirit that you're born with that causes you to have homosexual experiences and enjoy it and stay there and be permanently gay, whether a man or woman. You're not doing that on your own. You are born with a spirit with you that's causing those feelings and sensations. The question is, why did it choose you? Oh, yes, this is a nice, beautiful, sensual ballad, suitable for this discussion. Yes, this is why the church demonized homosexuality. Yes, when the baby starts crying, that spirit enters the body. The archons enter the body. But that's not the only time that they enter the body. They enter the body when you experience severe trauma. To force the ego to like the same sex, the archons what they do is that they introduce sexual abuse, sexual molestation. It's usually one of the avenues. You are born with the spirit of gay, but it has to ignite the ego. It has to alter the ego in order that it can take seat right along with your soul and your spirit. So now you have an indwelling spirit with you, with you. In the olden days, they used to call them demons. Oh, that person is born with a demon. But not DEMON, as the church did that. It's DEAMON. Demon, it means companion. I was born with several demons. No, they're not demons, DEMON. They're companions. And they're the ones that give me the gifts that you enjoy so much. They're the ones that allow me to see the tarot. They're the ones that allow me to see a glass when I read with coffee or tea leaf. They're the ones that give me the ability to read your palm and tell when you're going to die and when you're going to get sick and when you're going to get married and have children. They're the ones that give me the gifts of astrology and knowing the stars and the movements of the heavens. Do you think it's me by myself? Do you think I learned that in school? No. Yeah, let me spell the word demon. DAMON. Uh-oh. DEA. Look it up, guys. Research it. Your Uncle Fernando and Amphibio. Research it. You guys are smart. I depend on you to research what I tell you. Demon. That they used to use that word a lot. In the English dictionary, they took the word out. They took the word out. And they left demon, the bad one. So homosexuals, bisexuals are born with a demon. And this demon requires that type of energy of sexual lust and sexual excess, which is why, and we see that a lot in the homosexual activities and behaviors of certain people. But we see the same with heterosexual behavior because sexuality is not a given. You have to mature into sexuality. And human sexuality evolves and changes along with everything else. So at the end of the day, it becomes a relative term. But do we have these beings with us? Yes, we do. And the church will never discuss that with you and never reveal that. Ever. Ever. But that is the truth. And these people are usually very attractive, very beautiful, because you need to be that way in order to pull other people to you and have sex with them. Because this produces ectoplasm, energy,